I'm not afraid of you, and I'm done running from you, Mowgli yelled at Shere Khan, the tiger. In the movie Jungle Book, Mowgli had spent most of his life terrified by the tiger, Shere Khan. And for that matter, most of the other inhabitants of the jungle had too, because the tiger, Shere Khan, had manipulated and had bullied them and victimized them and incessantly. And he, because of an incident that had happened with man, with the fire of man, years before, that had wounded or scarred Shere Khan. He especially considered Mowgli, who was the man cub, to be a threat to his power, just like he did all men at that point. And after Shere Khan infiltrated the Mowgli's wolf pack, and he threatened his life, it forced Mowgli to leave the jungle. But it was the only home that he'd ever known. And so here he is leaving the jungle, and as he's leaving, he meets two friends that become his friends, and his partners in this journey that actually becomes a journey of self-discovery. And one of the friends is Bahira the panther, and the other friend is Baloo the bear. And as his journey unfolded, that journey of self-discovery, he began to realize his value, his importance. He began to realize his true identity, and actually he was empowered in that process. But Shere Khan wasn't going to let him leave the jungle alive anyway. He hunted him down, and actually he got to him. And during Shere Khan's final confrontation with Mowgli, Mowgli had thrown the stick away, the stick with fire on it, and Shere Khan, just to prove that he was not trying to overtake his power, and that he was not like the other men that he was so intimidated and threatened by. And but he had set the jungle afire below them. And so he climbs up this tree that Shere Khan is chasing him up, and there's nowhere to go, because Shere Khan is on one side of him chasing him up the tree, and the fire, if he jumps or goes anywhere off the tree, the jungle is afire below them. So in that moment of just sheer fear and terror, I'm sure, courage arose inside of Mowgli. And at the end of that branch, with nowhere to go and his life in the grasp of Shere Khan, or seemingly so, Mowgli turned around, and that courage rose up inside of him, and he faced Shere Khan, and he boldly declared, "I'm not afraid of you, and I'm done running from you. You're not going to terrify me anymore. You're not going to use fear to manipulate and control me anymore." And so by conquering that fear within him and defying the lies of his enemy, Shere Khan, in this moment, Mowgli, in that one defining moment, set himself free. But he also brought a strength of leadership to that jungle, and a unity and a prosperity and a peace to that jungle that they could have never imagined or believed before, because of the terror and the fear that Shere Khan put in them. But you see, isn't that what courage does for us? It conquers that fear in us. It's not that we don't have fear, but the courage arises in us, and it defies the lies of those enemies, that defies the lies of our enemies that incessantly bully us and threaten us and keep us feeling like the victim in our own lives. And that fear reminds us that we are alone, and that we are not going to make it, that we're going to fail, that it's going to take us down, that we're not going to have what we want and what we need, and that there's not enough, or that we're too much, or we're not enough. All of those lies that just penetrate our minds, that fear creates. But the fear attacks us not because we are weak, but because we're a threat to fear. Fear is afraid of us, so it bullies us. But if we will understand, and we will step into our true identity and our power, like Mowgli did, courage will arise within us too. Then we can begin to stare fear in the face and put it in its place, just like he did. We can declare to fear that we are no longer afraid of it, and we're not going to run from it anymore. We are going to expose fear for the bully that it is, and we're going to finally set ourselves free from its grips, so that we're free to fulfill the unique purpose that we were put here to fulfill, the thing that we were destined for, to make the world a better place, to play that role that only we can play. So today, may you stand up to the fear that's bullying you, that's keeping you from playing that role that you were uniquely meant to play. And say to fear, I am no longer afraid of you, and I'm done running from you. And begin to take back your life, your purpose, and your destiny.